Hello there everybody, this is General Snivy and welcome back to more of the Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back playthrough N Sane Edition. In today's session we're going to be looking into finishing up this game completely, 100%, once and for all. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get this party started and do the first major obstacle in order to progress further in the game and get that much freaking closer to the 100% goal. Cold hard crash. You jerk. Alright, let's do this. In we go. Alright. Reason why we are back here in Cold Hard Crash is because I finally figured out how the hell it is you're supposed to get the box gem in this frickin' level, and I just completely screwed that up because I didn't see that penguin somehow. Whatever. These things unfortunately happen every once in a while. And it's no big deal. As long as I'm alive, that's all that matters. Still gotta make it to the death route without doing that stupid crap. And of course, we gotta start all over again, which is really, really frickin' lame. Goddamn, that sucks. Already failed miserably. And we haven't even made it to the hard part of the level yet. I'm not looking forward to that at all. Not at all. Okay. Now, let's try this again. Hopefully with less dying. Please, that would be great. Anyway, as far as what I've done beforehand, before I began this stream today, speaking of which, I apologize that I'm streaming so freaking late. I normally don't stream in the evening so much as I used to, but the whole reason why I'm doing this today and doing this evening stream is because Mom needed me to help her out. She needed me to help her out with some things and run a couple of errands for her, so I went ahead and took care of that, and we also ate dinner as well not that long ago. I'd say about an hour ago we wrapped. Damn it! My god, I suck. This is gonna be real fun to get back through again. Just to reach the damn death route. Oh, Jesus Christ. Help me. I really hate the fact that the load times seem like they take a frickin' eternity. But thankfully it's nowhere near as bad as it once was back in the... when it was originally released on PS4. My god, the load times were so frickin' bad. It was almost comparable to Sonic 06. Though not quite as long, still pretty comparable. If you think about it. That's pretty scary. Oh, for Pete's sake. Well, anyway, another thing I've done beforehand is I looked up a quote-unquote box guide on how to get all the boxes in certain levels within this game. And that would be for this level right here, Cold Hard Crash, and one of the upcoming levels within the final floor. And the other level I really looked at was the other problematic level that I've also brought up not that long ago. God damn it. Whee! So anyway, what did I figure out as far as what I've been missing as far as boxes are concerned? Well, it's like this. As it turns out, I had the right idea when it came to the death route itself, but I was doing something wrong, and that is, after proceeding from one end and then returning to the other end, I then figured out that my internet decided to shit itself. Come on. Get back into place. Thank you. Okay. If anyone's experienced any sort of interruptions, my apologies. I don't know why my internet is shitting itself right now. Great idea, dude. Yeah, let's slide on top of the freaking explosive that is so sensitive to the touch. If you step on it the wrong way, you will just instantly be killed. You'll be eradicated. Yeah. Greatest idea ever, said no one. It's almost like smoking a cigarette. Don't do it. Ever. And this is coming from a guy who knows a smoker. A couple of them, actually. Smoking's not good for you. It never is good. It's never good to do it. So why do it? There we go. That's all the boxes for that section. Okay, just gotta step back, take a deep breath, wait for the TNT, and wait for the icicles, and watch out for the hedgehog that throws a frickin' hissy fit. Oh, how I hate that hedgehog. These things are the bane of my frickin' existence. I swear to God, I am not kidding. Excuse me. Alright. Let's get ready for some real fun with the death route. Let's do this. And with only one mask, this is going to be tricky, to say the least. Anyway, you know what? Let's just go ahead and grab these now. I'm going to need them. I really hate how some of these boxes are placed in the most hard to see locations. And because of that fact, because of the fact that they're so dang difficult to see a lot of times, they can easily be missed. Yep. Damn it! Okay. Well, that was a flop. Well, good news is, since I respawned at this checkpoint and I had 2 pity masks on me before, as soon as I respawned at this checkpoint, the pity masks returned. So now we can freaking cheese this section and just give it a big fat middle finger after we get rid of these boxes again. Which should be a relatively simple task. And bada bing, bada boom, task complete. Now comes the fun part, after I nearly panic and jump on top of a hedgehog like an idiot. Okay, let's go. Oh, you gotta love the cheese of the invincibility. And you gotta love the fact that even with the power of the ice physics the way they are in this game, gotta love the fact that you can reverse your trajectory by simply sliding. Now that I look at this level, now that I know what to do, this level is not that bad. Despite the fact that it does have a very difficult death route. Oh, god damn it. Slid into a frickin' nitro crate. Go me. Can't afford to do that. Also, I did not know this, but you can actually go back down from a death route and exit if you return to the death platform. So now all we have to do is just make it to the next checkpoint, which is down this path, believe it or not. Also, it is possible to get both gems that are in this stage. And I mean both of them. Both of the clear gems that are here from the death route as well as the box gem. If you want to do that, yeah, damn it. Well, as I was trying to say, I suck at cycles. No, that's not what I wanted to say. In actuality, what I was trying to say was, if you want to go for the Death Route gem as well as the box gem, you would essentially have to perform the Death Route at least twice. So take it the first time, grab the gem, and afterwards, KMS before hitting the checkpoint. Then go and do the Death Route again, and this time have fun while doing it by means of essentially going from one end to the other while still hitting the steel crate and making it to the end alive. Okay, that nitro crate is frozen in the air. And I'm dead. God damn it, game. Whatever. Okay. By God, man! Oh my god, get on the thing. This is not that hard. Funny enough, I've never even shown this route yet. Okay, how did that... Irrelevant. That was just my dumbass fault for misjudging the spin distance. Thankfully, the game's not that big of a dick by placing enemies in places where you can't see them until you're dead, pretty much. Okay. That wasn't too bad. By the way, that extra life is not worth the trouble. It honestly isn't. Whee! And that was outside of the death route, folks. We are now at 134 out of 155 boxes. And also one dead fried Bandicoot. Ready to go. Ready for serving at your local CC's Pizza. God damn it. And here I am trying to rush through the level like a freaking normal person. Where is Whitney? Why the hell did I say that? Alright, we're just about done with this level as I run into another frickin' hedgehog. God, I feel like Dr. Eggman right about now. Only thing missing is a giant robot being completely destroyed by a hedgehog. My god! Why am I dying so much in this frickin' level? It's the final frickin' stretch. How am I dying so much here? Okay. And there we go. Finally got the box gem, and Cold Hard Crash is complete. Finally done with this frickin' level. Never again will I have to do this level, unless I want to go for all the platinum relics or gold relics, but that's an entirely different story. Another story for another day. For right now, we're done. We're done with that level. And we are 75% complete. Let's see, we're up to 32 and the 42, so 2, 3, 5, 6, 9. There's one other gem that I'm missing. Perhaps there's a secret exit in one of these levels that I am unaware of, but we'll find that out soon enough. Also, why did I go back down? Perhaps, maybe the reason why is... Oh yeah, it's because of that one ruin level I still need to go back to. Alright, time to head into another one of the worst levels in the entire game. And this is claimed to be the hardest level in the entire frickin' game, next to Cold Hard Crash. Piston it away. Hopefully it won't piss me off, if you know what I mean. So, here we go. Let's do this thing. When it comes to this level is incredibly infamous because of you have to do things in a certain exact way. And if you don't do it to the T, well then you're going to die. Well no, you're going to have a bad time. Not just that, but you may even tear your freaking hair out. The first part of this level is not that bad, and honestly, going for an any percent in this stage in general is not too bad. But, trust me, once we reach the death area, the death platform, the fun will truly begin. So all I can say is, if you can grab any Aku Aku masks at this point, good on ya. Hold on to them for dear life. Just take it slow, be defensive. That was bullshit. Now I may be completely screwed. Just like that. God damn it. I knew as soon as I would have went, that would happen. What was I thinking? So as I was saying, there is a death platform and a death route here. And if you die at any point in this level, you have to do it all over again in order to get another shot at the death platform. So, let's get this another shot. There is one other thing that I did do here beforehand, before starting today's stream, and that is online on Elgato Support's Twitter account. They mentioned that NVIDIA's most recent drivers were causing issues with Elgato's game capture devices and game capture software. I wasn't really experiencing those kinds of issues per se, but it was happening via OBS, as you can tell with yesterday's stream, with my cam link randomly freezing completely, unable to get unfrozen until I deactivated it via OBS and then reactivated it again. Hopefully that issue will be completely resolved today, and we don't have to worry about the camera freezing. Alright, so here's how you're supposed to handle these enemies. You need to hit them dead center when the tentacles are down on the floor. And if they're up in the air, slide into them. their hitboxes in this version of the game are kind of broken. So if you don't hit them dead center, you're as good as dead. How did I live? Okay, let's be careful with this box right here. Don't spin into that because you will get hurt. Okay, let's take it easy. Grab the crystal. Whoa. Okay, here's the death platform. I'm going to go ahead and activate this and then take an intentional death. And the reason why I'm going to do that is so that way, when we head back into here, we can redo the death route as many times as we please. And we don't have to worry about dying so much here. But we do need to be careful. Also, this enemy right here. Leave him alone. You need him for later. If you kill him early on, you will be completely screwed. Trust me. Also, we're going to save that for when we begin our backtracking adventure. Damn it! Frickin' shield bash to frickin' oblivion. And that was just stupid. I hesitated. Thinking, oh, I don't know, I could just jump on him? Jumping on him. What am I thinking? Okay. Hopefully the death platform will remain active despite me dying outside of the death route. Alright, here is your marker. After you break that box right there, start making your way backwards. Head back and try not to get killed at any point here. God damn it. That part right there is a lot more difficult than it looks. The reason why it's so freaking difficult is because of the fact that you need to jump towards the lasers as they're being fired at you, and if you get hit, you will shrink to the size of a plankton and you will instantly be killed, as I clearly demonstrated. God damn it! I swear to God, you need a mask in order to get past that gun section. And another way to get through that section, hopefully within one piece, is to spin the laser-like projectile and proceed one step at a time. Don't go all guns blazing and charge in all at once. Okay. Now for the bonus stage, in the bonus area. Once again, you have to do this bonus stage in a certain way. And that involves this series of boxes right over here. You need to go at this in like a singular motion and save that block box structure until you make your way back. Otherwise, you would have you would not have enough height to make it back and make it over those nitro crates. But after all this is done, it's just a simple matter of getting to the end and without dying, so that way you don't have to do all this again. Okay, so let's use this as a checkpoint indicator. Now remember this asshat? You need to wait for him to have his tentacles down, bounce on him, and jump over the gun. You only have one shot at that. If you miss the jump, or if you run into him, you will either die or kill him, and you will have no way of getting back up here, back to the death route. So, there you go. So now, it's time for the death route. At one point, which should be relatively soon, we should be able to reach a checkpoint box and not do that stupid crap. God damn it, now we gotta do another one of those leap of faith again. Damn it. Okay, so if you're trying to master the timing of when to execute the jumping on top of that butthole, definitely don't stand where I stood. God damn it! Wanna know something funny? In the original, if you happen to get hit by the shrink ray, you can still move. As if nothing ever happened until you shrink down completely. But in the N Sane Trilogy, you stand still. And you can't do anything else. Just figure I'd throw it out there. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Just a little matter of careful maneuverability. Just take your time, and there we go. Made it to the checkpoint. So now we don't have to worry about anything else other than game over. And that's really the last thing you need to worry about here. That's it. Although at this point, you still have to worry about reading the enemy patterns. Damn it! I wonder, can you spin into them and kill them? Or do you have to slide? I'm pretty sure you have to slide into them in order to kill them. The thing is, though, the slide only, it slides you a fixed amount of distance. And there's no way you can avoid getting shot. God damn it. Perhaps I need to do something a bit more creative. Although at this point... There. That's how it's done. God damn it! All my momentum was just killed. Killed right then and there. Okay. Okay, that was just bullshit. You see what I mean about having funky hit detection when it comes to these stupid-ass, spider-like creatures? Okay. I seriously wonder how they can, maintain their height while in the air. Excuse me, game? I was on the freaking center of the enemy. That is bullshit, and you know it. Damn it. I just can't make it across this gap. Why? It's like somehow my momentum is being drained as I'm going about in the air. There. Whatever, I don't care. And there we go. Death route and level completed. That was real fun. Fun under the sun, folks. Oh, buddy. What am I thinking? Well then. Looks like the frickin' camera froze again. Excuse me. Jesus flip. Cam link. And deactivate and activate. There we go. Okay. Glad that's out the way. And that's both of the frickin' gems and the crystal. We're pisting it away. Thank God. Well, that was real fun. And thankfully, the other levels here are not going to be anywhere near as difficult as that was. Holy crap. That was absolutely insane. Invert your flight controls in the options menu. Speaking of flight, this is the first of 2 levels where Crash will be fitted up with a jetpack. Okay, to fly forward, just hold the A button. To fly backwards, hold B. And square is to spin. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and invert my flight controls. Yes, put that on. So, down is, you know what? This is feeling kind of awkward, so never mind. So, like I said, this is the first of 2 flight levels in this game. And, one big difference between the original as opposed to, the original and this version, there's a different animation when Crash puts on his jetpack. Instead of finding the jetpack out in the open, he instead gets suited up as if it was frickin' Metroid Prime. That's what I was trying to mention earlier. One thing I will say is that the controls do take some time to get used to. But once you get the controls down, they don't seem too bad and you can get through this relatively quickly. Just keep in mind though, these controls can be a bit wonky. And in the N Sane Trilogy, they are considerably improved over the original, but that doesn't mean that they actually are. It depends on who you ask. I think by default, the controls in the original were set to where down is up is down, or it was set in a different way. I don't quite recall. It's been so long since I played the original version of this game in the first place, and I can't really say. And there we go. There we go. That wasn't so bad, and I missed the box. How? Well, god damn it. God frickin' damn it. How did I miss a box in this stage? I swear, man. Maybe it was cleverly hidden off screen and I didn't even realize. Well, either way, we're diving right back in. I don't care what anyone says. We're going back in. We're going to go back in hard. So, let's do this thing. Rocket! Gum Gum Rocket! Here we go again. And if you want to do a time trial of this stage, have fun. That's entirely up to you. I swear to God, flying backwards is the most awkward thing about these splight levels here. I keep instinctively hitting up to go down and down to go up. Did I say that already? I don't remember if I did, but either way. Either way, this level, it's a pretty fun level, and I like it. I do like this level, though with the control scheme here, it does take a while to get used to. Kind of reminds me a bit of Star Fox Zero with its weird control scheme and motion controls. Though it's nowhere near as difficult as Star Fox Zero's control scheme. That's for sure. Okay, no dick boxes over there, so thank God. Maybe there was something up here? By the way, you can only go so high and so low in these stages. Once you hit a certain threshold, then you won't be able to go any higher or lower, depending on where you are. Okay, anything? No. Damn it! I knew that was going to happen too. All because I couldn't see. Oh my God, are you serious? I knew it! All because I missed it the first time through. Okay, that was a load of bullcrap. Okay. Oh, come on, man. I don't know if you can have any Aku masks here. If you can, well then, that would definitely make things easier, that's for sure. Those guys can be pretty difficult to deal with, but it's honestly not too bad. You just gotta whack them and then immediately start charging at them again. Once again, it's all these controls. I keep thinking that the face buttons move you up and down, and you can move with the freaking control stick. Honestly, I kind of wish it was like that. Instead, it's more like the opposite, where the face buttons allow you to move forward and backwards, and you control your altitude by moving up and down with the stick. Okay. Okay, how did I do that? Well, anyway. Well, at least we got all the boxes this time around. So that's good. By the way, you can't leave this level with the jetpack on. I know, because as soon as you approach the door, it stays shut until you take off the jetpack. So there we go. Finally, we got the frickin' box gem at this stage, which took like 10,000 years. Oh well, not exactly much I can do about that, except just, accept the fact that it took so long and just move on to the next level. Alright, let's head into Night Fright. This looks like a fun level, because there are 2 gems here. Friendly fireflies will help light your way. Where have I heard this before? There was one secret exit that we went through before, where we went to like a harder version of this level. So essentially, just like before when we first got here, it's basically the same thing, where you gotta keep your light source going by collecting fireflies over and over again, and you need to proceed quickly. There's also a death route here. Oh, fantastic. Hopefully this will be the last instance where we have to backtrack in the entire game. Please let that be the case. I wonder if we even need to do backtracking at all. But either way, there's the Death Route gem. Once again, the fastest way to travel, and the only way to travel, is via the slide spin trick, and I spun into friggin' nitro crates. Out of sheer panic. Alright, time for the next bonus stage, and just like with the secret area before when we first came here, we need to use the fireflies to light our way. And unlike the first bonus stage of this area before it, we now, the firefly now sticks with us until eventually it flies off into the sunset. Once again, if the screen goes dark, you should still be able to see a little bit. Also, some enemies can light up the way too a little bit. So use that to your advantage too. And here's the crystal. See, I told you it was worth it to come back here. Oh, hello. Phew. Hi. I don't even. You know what, I was thinking I could just, take the death round again and just go back the way I came, but nope. Can't quite do that. Instead, we kinda have to awkwardly run around in the dark until we return to the fork in the road and continue our way. And hopefully not kill ourselves in the process. Which is very easy to do, by the way. Due to the darkness and the enemies that are around here. But once again, if you have your brightness setting set up quite a bit, and it should help you quite a bit with lighting up the way. Do you know the way? Screw you. There we go. That's the level, folks. Pretty easy, I gotta admit. Even with the death route and everything. I think I only died, I don't think I even died at all in this stage, believe it or not. Interesting. Who knew? Am I right? Well, that doesn't really matter right now. All that matters is that we gotten everything that we came here for in the first place. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. We're almost there. We're up to 86% complete. All we have left are a couple of levels. Pack Attack, Spaced Out, and of course the final boss itself. And also that one level where we need to find a secret exit in order to get all the boxes in that one ruin level. This is gonna be awkward, for sure. Anyway, welcome to the second and last flight level. Let's begin. Unlike the last flight level, there's a lot more obstacles and there's a lot more things to take into account that can possibly kill you. I was thinking about possibly inverting my flight controls again, maybe try to get used to that. But honestly... Okay, what the hell? I clearly did not touch that. That's bullshit. Now that I think about it, I don't remember the flight controls being this janky in the original game. Remember when I said earlier... God damn it, stupid wires. Remember when I said earlier about how the analog stick should just move you around and about? Well... I think that is the case with the original, and they just changed up the controls here in the N Sane Trilogy just for the sake of changing them. Not only that, but also to try to improve on the control scheme. But honestly, there was no real need to change the controls at all. Damn it! I knew that was going to happen. Running out of lives here, that's not a good thing. If you get a game over at any point in any stage, you would have to redo the stage all over again. So any crystals that you picked up along with the gems themselves, you would have to recollect them again. And again, just like I said earlier, going forwards and backwards is the most awkward thing about these flight controls. So, if you possibly can, try to avoid going backwards as much as humanly possible. Instead, just worry about progressing forward little by little. Take your time and just take it easy. Good things come to those who wait. Here we are. Just making sure there was nothing there that I missed somehow. Go, 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 go. That works. Oh, wow. There is an Uku. Uku. Oh my god. Aku mask. Why was I trying to say Uka Uka? He doesn't appear until the third game in the series. Of course. I would do that to myself. Okay, note to self, remember to grab this box up here if we end up KMSing somehow. That should, thankfully there's not too much more to go. Of course. Of course I would do that. Because I love these flight controls. They're simply the best. So divine. Oh dear. Out of this house! Out of this house! Okay, got the crystal. Gotta love that cross formation. Made it to the end. Got all the boxes. Thank God. I really did not want to do that level again. Ever. But, whatever. At the very least, the level is cleared. It's complete. Everything's hunky-dory. Thank frickin' God that's done and over with. So let's go ahead and deposit our gem, as well as our crystal. Even though I did that backwards. Who cares? On to the last major level, Spaced Out. And I believe for this level you need all the colored gems in order to get the second gem that is here. As far as the box gem, I'm not so sure. Yep, unlock a new path by earning all the colored gems. So, let's, I guess we'll be going after whatever appears first, which is more than likely going to be the colored gem route. So, in Spaced Out, it's kind of like Piston Away, except, this time we have a lot more enemies to ruin our day. They're also a lot more aggressive. So we kind of have to be extra careful as we go about this level. They're also going to be acting a lot more strangely too. So that's something else to keep in mind. Okay. Let's take the color gem route. Let's do this. By the way, there are 60 boxes here. However, I don't think we can get all the boxes as soon as we begin this route. As soon as you take the color gem route, you're pretty much committed, unless you KMS before hitting the first checkpoint there. If there even is a checkpoint. Just saying. I don't even. That is bullshit. Absolute bullshit at its finest. Just like I said before though, you have to hit those enemies dead center in this version. If you don't hit them dead center and hit anywhere else, you're going to get zapped. And that's not going to be fun. As much as I hate to say it. Also, that was bullshit too. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through this with all my lives left. I've wasted quite a lot of them throughout this session so far. I'm surprised that even counted as a hit against him. Usually that would not be the case. Okay, let's try this route again, hopefully without getting killed like a damn idiot. Just gotta read the patterns, and then we'll be fine. I say that, and I get crushed anyway, because I hesitated. Went too slow. Damn it! The bullshit man strikes again. My God! Why? Why am I screwing up this badly? Am I really that freaking exhausted? Nah. It's gotta be the levels themselves. They were just that much more difficult now. That's gotta be it. Okay, let's go about this again. Again with the bullshit! I jumped on the center of his head, and yet it still resulted in a hit. Those enemies have the worst freaking hitboxes in the entire freaking game. The most inconsistent. It's either a 50-50 crapshoot most of the time. Either you're going to get hit, or you're going to kill the enemy. It's 50-50. Even if you're dead center, you're still going to die. A lot. And that's absolute bullshit. Damn it! All because the damn pillar thing had to come crashing down as soon as I made it across the damn gap. Oh, Jesus flip. Again with the bullshit hit detection! Why was this not fixed? Ever! Jesus, I hope there will be a mod that comes out someday that fixes this shit. How about make the mod named Better N Sane Trilogy? Fixes the freaking awful hit detection of all the enemies. Especially those that have like 4 legs and defy all logic. Damn it. I really wish there was a checkpoint at the end of each section. I don't even know if there is a checkpoint at any point within that entire gauntlet. There might be, and I just haven't made it that far yet. Not too sure. Okay. I guess I died enough times to warrant a new checkpoint to spawn at the beginning here. I'm happy with that because that makes things so much easier for me. And even if I do get a game over in this stage, the new checkpoints that spawn are there forever. Okay, now I feel like these things are way off sync. I knew I jumped too soon, but I wanted to chance it anyway, because I figured, maybe, just maybe, he would, I don't know, maybe you would put him down, but even if he would do that, I still would have been killed anyway, due to the way the hit detection is so broken in this version. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully we can get through this without getting freaking smashed to death or bullshitted. One of the two things would be great right about now. I don't even... I was wondering if he was going to put up his tentacles. Glad I waited. At least with this route here, as you're going about this, at the very least it gives you extra lives to make up for the lives that you lost up to this point. Ugh. Yeah, that life is not worth my time or energy. So there we go. That's the color gem route. Though we did miss the crystal in this stage, don't worry, we're going to be going back and we're going to collect it. Trust me. I guarantee that we're going to be doing that. However, there is still the matter of that one secret exit we've yet to go and find. Now that I think about it, I may have to look up where that secret exit is. Although, I think I will save that for after we've beaten the main game itself. Then I'll look up the information that I need. Alright. Now it's time to really do this level for real. Now the real fun begins. As we avoid becoming the mayor of bullshit land. Last thing we need to do now. See, just like I said, if a new checkpoint spawns, it's there forever. There's no shame in spawning new checkpoints at all. There honestly is no shame in that. I mean, if anything else, it does help you quite a lot. Take that. Take that. I'm surprised I even got him. Well, either way, I was dead. Screw you and your face. Whee! Alright, welcome to probably the last bonus stage in the entire game. Within this particular bonus stage, we need to go about this in a pretty creative way. Pretty sure. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Okay. As you can see, we did miss like 6 boxes here in the bonus stage, but when it comes to that bonus stage, the missing boxes were all nitro crates anyway, so that's not that big of a deal. Okay, that was just sheer panic, and that was sheer stupidity. Great job, mate. Ah, damn it. Oh, how this section bloody blows. Damn it. I thought I could jump over that. You probably could in the original, but not so much here. Instead, you have to just deal with the lasers and shrinking shit as they come about and try to end your life. So like I said, you need to really utilize spinning at the laser projectiles as they're being fired at you. Also, I didn't think the platform was going to go that far in. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Again, the platforms, even the platforms here are really dangerous. Okay. That was, that was kind of dumb. Oh well. Don't care. At the very least, that's all the major items we need to collect here. Everything's collected pretty much, with the exception of at least 1 or 2 gems. there is still the matter of the one secret exit I still need to find. I will probably have to look this up after we fight and defeat the final boss.
Yes! My plan is nearly complete, and I have you, Crash Bandicoot, to thank for it. Engine, what's happening? What's that? Is she stealing our signal?
Crash, Cortex isn't gonna use the crystals to contain the planet's energy. He's gonna harness the force and use it to power the super Cortex vortex he's built on his space station. One blast and the ray will cover the entire world, turning everyone into Cortex's mindless slaves. Crash, don't let him have those crystals!
Engine, you fool! She's telling him everything! Yes, we're back now. Pardon the, interruption. Crash, bring me crystals!
Okay, so with that done out the way, there's only one major obstacle left to take care of, and also there are 2 gems that I'm missing here. As far as where those gems are, that is a good question. Guess we'll find out where those gems are that I'm missing after we defeat Neo Cortex. Let's do this! Time for the final boss. Damage his jetpack to keep him from escaping. And we're gonna have fun with jetpack controls again. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so unlike all the other boss fights in the entire game, this one is a timed boss fight where you have to chase Cortex and hit him 3 times before he reaches the space station. Once he reaches the space station, it's an automatic fail. So get close, up close and personal, and just whack him. Spin into him and you should be fine. Hold down the forward button and just try not to run into any obstacles such as mines or anything of the sort. And there we go! We got ourselves a permanent upgrade power-up known as the Speed Shoes. To run faster, hold down the right trigger whilst running. This power-up made its appearance in Crash Bandicoot Warped. And in the N Sane Trilogy, it was brought over to Crash 2 so, as like a final reward of sorts for when you finish the game any percent pretty much by collecting all 25 crystals. So regardless if you get all the gems or not, you will get the Speed Shoes as your reward. So this is applied to you automatically upon winning this fight, and it's permanently attached to Crash. Unless you start a new game, that is, in which case you'll have to earn this again.
You haven't seen the last of me, Crash Bandicoot.
Later, dude. See you in hell.
Crash, what do you suppose happened to Cortex? And what about the Cortex vortex? It's still up there.
Well, we're definitely going to have to do something about that Cortex vortex. But we will do so after I skip the credit sequence here once again and return to the warp room immediately upon completing this entire frickin' ordeal. So, now that Cortex has been defeated, now it's time to go hunting for the remaining gems that we've yet to collect. As far as where those gems are, one of them is in that one ruins level that I was not able to fully complete via the box gem because I was missing the secret exit. As far as where that secret exit is, I will have to look this up. So yeah, we need to find the secret exit for the Road to Ruin in order to get the box gem. And we also need to find a secret exit for Totally Bare. Alrighty then. I'm gonna go ahead and save progress here, and I'm gonna take a look at this and look this up. So, this shouldn't take me too long, hopefully. So, excuse me. And enjoy the crash idle animations while I look up the necessary information. Okay. Well, looks like I figured out where one of the secret exits are, at the very least. So, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this now. First off, we need to return to the level Unbearable, and do that level basically from start to finish. And I believe that level is up on the 4th floor. Ruination, Cold Hard Crash, hanging out, behaving. Okay. It was actually on the 3rd floor. Yep, here we are. Alright, let's head on in. Great Bear opens a secret passage. Well, that's not the only thing it opens. It opens the key to my heart. Lol. So, at this point now, let's go ahead and show off Crash Dash. Ow. Not mean to do that. Anyway, with Crash Dash, you can run almost as fast as, fast as, sliding and spinning at the same time. This will definitely make going for speedrunning a lot of the levels a lot easier. I just wish this was implemented in the first Crash game too. That would make going after all the Platinum Relics so much more hassle-free. That is for sure. Also, I should bust this open. I'm not even going to worry about busting open all the boxes or anything, because that's not what we're after here. God damn it. Instead, what we're really after is the Fool's Gold, like towards the very end of this. And once again, the Crash Dash makes things so much more bearable. God damn it. Here I am trying to make things harder by pushing the right bumper while keeping the right trigger held with my index finger at the same time. I mean, it is still possible to get through the speed courses or the time trials without the Crash Dash. God damn it. Why do I keep running into stupid electrical gates and crap? No idea. And now I'm running into the ass crack of a frickin' lizard. And just shoving myself up there trying to hide from the frickin' polar bear. Maybe it's because I'm in such a rush to get back to where I need to be. Like, towards the very end of the stage here. Still, though, it is kind of ridiculous. Okay, time for the final part. The final part of the stage, and after you complete this polar bear riding section and go across the chasm, you're going to need to do something really special. And after that polar bear falls into his untimely doom, start heading backwards, do a slide jump across this chasm, and head back over here. See our little polar bear friend here? Go straight to him, and you'll jump right at his side. You'll unlock another achievement, and you'll also get access to one of the secret levels that we previously missed out on playing on. That level's going to be Totally Bare. So let's head on in and begin. Tap, run before jump, or greater distance, of course. Okay, here we go. By the way, I'm pretty sure this level is only available via a secret exit. So this is an entirely new level, filled with all kinds of new obstacles and other things that can ruin your freaking day. So this is going to be real fun to do. So once again, dashing is going to be your friend if I can remember which button to push. I was like, crap. Why is X not working? Right, because that's not the dash button. It's either B or right bumper, and I missed a box. Dang it. Polar bear cub sounds so freaking cute. It's almost like a puppy. Speaking of which, I want a dog so freaking bad. Now that I look at this level and basically what you have to do, it's almost like you're jumping in sync with the whales or the killer orcas. And I completely missed all the boxes. God damn it. I just jumped over them all because it's fun to jump over boxes. It's not fun to break them. Not. Damn it! I still missed them! It's like you gotta time it almost frame perfect in order to get all 4 boxes on that single jump. If you mistime it at all even once, you're gonna miss out on everything. Once again! Seriously, screw this level. Technically speaking, this is the 3rd polar bear riding level, or maybe even the 4th. Yeah, pretty sure it's technically the 3rd because... Okay, what was that shit? I managed to hit all 4 boxes, but then I hit the ceiling and lost my momentum. The hell is that shit about? Oh, that's not good. Okay, what the hell is that shit? I'm probably gonna end up losing all my lives here on this one frickin' level. That would not be good for anyone. Jesus Christ! Again, you gotta jump at just the right time. That timing is incredibly difficult to master. Once you do master it, man, it's gonna feel good. There we go. Finally, made it to the next checkpoint in what seems like a frickin' eternity. Ow. That hurt. Okay. The rest of this shouldn't be too bad now. Once again, there is one other thing I haven't mentioned yet, and that is there is what is known as fog in this stage, and darkness. Thankfully, it's nowhere near as dark as some of the other stages we've visited as of yet. By the way, I'm pretty sure there's something down here. Or maybe not. This is just here for show. Okay then. We're good. We're good to go. That's the first of 2 gems that we need to collect. So that is awesome. Frickin' sweet. Job completed. Okay. Excuse me. Well, that was totally bare. Alright. Now it's time to look up the other secret exit. Thankfully, I still have that video pulled up, but still. Ah, there it is. Alright. I found out where we need to go, so let's head on back to the level Digging It. I can't believe I didn't even figure this out until earlier. I mean, until just now. Oh, Jesus flip. Alright, we're almost done here, folks. Time to head into Digging It. Oh boy, this frickin' level again. Never did I think I would need to return here ever, but it turns out... It turns out there is a secret exit here in this level. And this is the last major secret exit that we need to find in order to return to the level Road to Ruin, I believe. Either way, let's head on off to the secret exit. And once again, the Crash Dash will definitely make things so much easier to bear. There are certain sections in this level where you should not rush it, even if you're trying to make it to the secret exit in this level. Just saying. Sometimes it's better to just take your time and just wait for the proper moment, as opposed to just rushing in like a freaking idiot. And you know what? Let's just avoid taking the death route here, because the death route is definitely a lot harder of a route to take as opposed to here. This is definitely the easier of the 2 routes for sure. God damn it. Nice snipe, you stupid ass piranha plant. Son of a bitch. Alright, here we are. Now, you see this lone little island over here? What you need to do is belly flop on that guy right there, kill him, and there we go. That's the last secret exit for that. That's the last secret exit in the entire game. You also get an achievement too to go with that. And here we are, the Road to Ruin. Clear gems often appear at the end of a death route. No kidding. We've already done that, so no need to worry about it. Welcome back to the Road to Ruin. In this stage, we have a lot of things to break. And we also have a lot of boxes to take into account too. And a lot of dick boxes too. And we're already back at the very beginning of the level. Well, you know, that route was actually pretty dang short. Crap. Did not mean to do that. Alright, at this point now we can just rush right on through the rest of the stage. And once again, you don't need to worry about the death route at all whatsoever. The death route has no boxes. No boxes to worry about whatsoever on the entire thing. So don't even bother taking the death route, even if you make it here in one piece. Just saying, it's not worth the pain. It's also not worth your time either. Unless you haven't gotten the clear gem on the stage yet. In which case, good luck. You still do need to do the bonus stage here. God damn it. I really overshot the target. Oh well, that's fine. Like I said though, like I said before, failing bonus stages is not the end of the world. You just simply have to do it again. It does suck that you still lose your masks though, if you do fail a bonus stage. But it's not that bad. It honestly isn't. And we're at 83 out of 89 boxes. The last couple of boxes are just along this pathway here, as well as the nitro boxes that we need to detonate. God damn it. I knew that was going to happen. I thought I could just barely make it through and run through it without an issue. Nope. And that, as they say, is that. There we go, folks. The final gem of the entire game. And now we are officially 100% complete with Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. The game is done. Laser-powered vengeance is now unlocked. Let's watch the fireworks as they begin.
You have acquired all of the gems. Incredible. The crystals are not the only means of harnessing planetary energy. The gems have that ability as well. And with them, I can destroy the Cortex Vortex forever. Let me warp you to my completed laser installation.
Alrighty. So, it's time to head on off to that laser destination. I wonder how we're going to be able to get there. Usually, or no, in the original Crash 2, upon collecting the last gem, you are instantly warped to the final ending sequence. But here, you just need to take the middle warp pad and ride it all the way up to the top.
We are ready, Crash. Would you like to do the honors?
And so the Cortex Vortex machine space station thing is destroyed. And that, my friends, is Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. That's the alternate ending here. And in the original release, this also triggers, this would also trigger the credits. That's what I was trying to say earlier. So, there's only one thing left to do now, and that is to show off the overpoweredness that is the Crash Dash ability. I'm going to go ahead and show off the time trials now and show it off on a couple of levels here. I'm not going to be going after every single level here because really there's not much of a point in doing that for one, other than bragging rights and achievement reasons, and two, there's no need to do it. Unless you really are that much of a completionist, and if you're that way, then by all means, Best of luck to you, and go after those platinum relics, buddy. I believe in you. So whenever our time trial is initiated, you have to complete the stage from beginning to end without dying once at any point. The Crash Dash makes things a lot easier when going through the time trials of any given stage. And that's really your best way of going about these stages in the first place. That doesn't mean that it's the only means of getting through the stage either. Remember, you can still do the whole slide spin technique to really give yourself some additional momentum where you need it most. Damn it! How did I fail like that at the very end? Jesus, I suck. Okay, let's try this again, and hopefully without falling into a stupid pit at the very end of the level. Like an idiot. By the way, I don't believe any sort of gem shortcuts that you would normally be able to access are available here. My god. That might as well have been a reset right there. Ah, dang it. I know it's possible to make it across these pits. It's just not easy to do that, though. There we go. Made it across. It's just the timing of that is really damn strict. And the timer doesn't stop until you hit this teleporter pad. And with that, that's a gold relic. If you want to go platinum, I believe you have to make it so you jump over every single one of those pits without falling into a single one. Once. Ever. If you fall in, then it's all over. Okay. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and show off one more level when it comes to the relics. And just like with any other level, if you collect a relic, whether it be sapphire, gold, or platinum relic, you do the crash dance. And once again, you can skip it by pushing the Y button. And by the way, relics are not available for boss fights. So I figure I'd throw that out there. Alright, let's try doing one of these polar bear levels and show off the time trial for this. So, damn it. It looks like my freaking camera froze again. Excuse me. There we go. All fixed. Back to the game. Alright. Let's go ahead and show this off now. Damn it. I believe if you want to go for platinum relics in these polar bear-like stages, you essentially have to be speed boosting about 99% of the time throughout the stage. You can attempt these time trials upon your first completion of the stage. It's true for any other stage as well, but the polar bear stages are where you can really put your skills to the test. And if you can go for a platinum relic here or get one of them, great! Just keep in mind, while you're speed boosting, you do lose out on some more precise controls. God damn it. So that kind of sucks. And you also have to remember to grab the stopwatch as soon as you jump onto the polar bear. Because if you miss out on it, well then you'll have to restart the entire level in order to get another shot at the time trial. And you can't just spam the turbo button all the frickin' time. You have to wait after about 2 or 3 seconds before you can do another charge. Damn it! I knew doing the frickin' turbo jump was a terrible idea. Okay, let's try this again. With less fails, please. That would be great. Damn it! Not only did I miss the first frickin' time box, also got blown up somehow. Oh, come on, man! How did I miss that? There we go. And only a gold relic for that. Damn. What is the platinum time on that, though? Holy crap. It must be insanely difficult. Also, that was bullcrap. There we go. Whew. Name has been entered, and I think we're pretty much done here. Even though we're only about 2 hours into the session, the game's pretty much completed at this point. I consider this game finished. That's 2 Crash games down and only 1 more to go. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here. Despite me being at 2 hours, I think at this point, I'm pretty much done for tonight. So, speaking of streaming, I do have an announcement to make, and that is, as of this moment here and now, I'm adding 1 more day to the stream schedule. So, I will be streaming on Saturdays and Sundays like I typically do. And the new day that I will be streaming on will be Wednesdays. All 3 days will be done at around 12 p.m. noon Eastern Daylight Time. So, yeah, I'm going to be streaming more often now, at least until I get a new job again. Hopefully I'll find one sometime in the near future. But for now, though, I think we're good with what we have here for now. So, yep, that's it. I'm done here. This is General Snivy with the Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back playthrough. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you were able to attend the live stream live, thank you for attending. Next time, we're going to be jumping into the 3rd game and the final game in the Crash Bandicoot N Sane Trilogy, which is Crash Bandicoot Warped! So, hope you're all looking forward to that. And once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.